Everyone, it is Bagger here, and you may have noticed in the Premier Recruits on The Walking Dead Road to Survival, we have a new Epic Rick. Here he is, the nice cool graphic from that Premier Recruits section. We're going to have a bit of a chat about what you think about him, what I think about him, and how he could be used. Anyway, let's go have a look at those lovely stats. Watch me switch between apps with my amazing production values. Okay, so here we go. He's popped up in the Premier Recruits. He is a Yellow Rick, our second Yellow Rick that I can think of. And let's have a look at those lovely numbers. Now, starting off with HP, we've got 1105. So that's on the top-ish end. It's obviously nowhere near Yellow Morgan, who's a little over 1,300, but it's still fairly good as far as 5 stars go. Definitely around the middle range there. Next up, we have defense at 807, which is very good for a yellow character. And then next up is his attack at 795, which is actually also quite good as well. So all around, he's probably just above average in every one of those, except defense, where he'd be considered significantly above. So now looking at his rush speed, 56 AP fast, which means that with that you can give him a very large bonus to AP when attacking weapon, or have a leader who grants that when attacking, and have him rush at the same speed as you would with a Molly, which means he is a little bit faster than Tyrese, which means that you don't have to give him a huge AP bonus weapon in order to get him to rush on the third turn. So his usefulness there is pretty significant. Now, his rush does 275 damage to one enemy in all adjacent. So it's a great little splash damage. It's pretty similar range to the yellow human shield Michonne, very similar range to yellow Ben, Big Ears Ben, with the school bomber jacket on. And he can dish out, a fair chunk of pain. He wouldn't be your main mass hitter, but he's going to help you get past those human shielders if you don't have a stun or someone who can deal out massive damage in one hit. So this character, he's pretty good. He also, in addition to that hit that he does a 30% heal. So hit healers are a really big deal in this game. When you think about characters like Kenny, you think about characters like Ellen, you think about characters like Dwight, and Green Jesus as well. They all do. They all have a big role in the game in the top meta teams. So you can see with Rick in a yellow build, there is big potential for him there. And what is when I first read that, I thought, oh, that's kind of crap. 30% isn't a whole lot, and they've done a bit of a typo at the end. But then I reread it and realized that you receive 30% the turn that you do. In the following turn, you receive a further 30%. Now, some people say, well, look, 30% isn't a lot, and that is true. But there aren't any that I can think of healers that do a 60% rush with that speed, a 60% HP heal with that much of a rush, with that speed of a rush. It's pretty. I mean, Morgan, he does a 60% heal, but he's got an AP of 75. So really, comparing the two, you're getting Rick a turn earlier, and he just keeps giving. And once you do get him up and going, you're receiving a heal 2 out of every 3 turns. And if you have another hit healer in there, like Ellen, or if you have a dedicated healer as well, you can be healing every single turn. So, and for one of those turns, you still get to attack. So that's, a pretty big deal. Now, how would scrolling over, let's have a look at that specialist skill, Retribution. I think, to be honest, Retribution is one of those skills that I would put towards the bottom end of the pile, along with Parting Shot. Simple reason is that it kind of puts control into the hands of your opponent. Yes, there is a catch-22 factor with it. If you kill him, enemy gets more AP. If you kill him, the rest of the team gets more AP. If you don't kill him, then he's healing 2 out of every 3 turns. But the dealio is that your opponent can. It's they can kill a couple, then hit Rick in the mid game, minimizing the effectiveness of his rush. They can leave him till very last and just deal with the extra HP that they're getting from the rush and be totally okay with that if they've got the hitters to remove characters in single turns. So I think that he would need to be in a very specific build to be considered hyper competitive. I would consider something like a yellow build with a yellow Clam, a yellow Michonne Human Shielder, with or even a green Lee Human Shielder. That would probably be a bit more effective, just because you are going to be protecting yourself against people who see your yellow leader and take green specifically. So you've got a bit of an advantage there. Then you'd have another mass then another mass hitter like Jesus, and your last spot you'd consider another very big hitter like Yellow Sandy, or even a big solo hitter, possibly Shiva, possibly Green Michonne. They're both on the slow side. You could look at the new Dwayne. That's a possible option there, also very good. Or you could have another healer in the form of Green Command Jesus or Green Dwight. So there's definitely some options there as far as the sort of teams you could build this Rick into. So yeah, I really do think that he's got a place. I'm really interested to see how the top players use him. Anyway, look, those are some of my thoughts on this Rick. I think he's got a place, definitely. Now, his graphic looks really cool, like the one on the main Premier Recruits page, but when you look at him like this, he really looks kind of lame. I think he's supposed to be this is when Rick's just woken up from the coma and he's ready to try and find his family. Like at this stage, he still thinks he's in a dream. He never looks like this at any stage in the comics. Spoiler alert, from the first episode. And he's never looked like this in the TV shows. He's never looked like this in the comics. So there's a little bit of creative license in the from Scopely here, which they would have gotten approved by the good people at the comic. But still, it's a little it's a slightly different aesthetic to what we're used to seeing, I suppose. So anyway, let me know what you think and how you would use him, or if you'd like me to keep making these videos. I am not going to be doing an open of this card at the moment. So anyway, I hope you're all getting ready for war and looking forward to some fun times. I will talk to you later. Bag out!